Once upon a time, there was a man named Isaac. Now, Isaac wasn't exactly the luckiest fellow. His bank account resembled a parched desert lizard's armpit, and his face, it bore a striking resemblance to a bulldog chewing on a wasp. One fine morning, destiny decided to pay Isaac a visit through a dream. It knocked on his ramshackle hut's door at night like insistent telemarketer. Isaac woke up in the morning still confused about the dream. He was not sure if it was a dream or he was too drunk. The following morning, while Isaac was nursing a hangover that could rival a stampede of elephants, he pondered over his misfortunes. His buddy, Lucky, wasn't doing any better in life. Because of non-stop drinking, Lucky's liver had seen more action than a taxi rank during rush hour. Isaac visited Lucky and found him sitting outside. "Listen here, Lucky," Isaac said, scratching his head, "we're as broke as church mice. We need a plan, my friend." Lucky nodded wisely. "Indeed, Isaac. We need a windfall, a jackpot bigger than a herd of cattle stampeding through a maize field." Isaac spoke about the rumor about money hidden in the mountains near Bad Plaza, now known as Mkhonza. Lucky confirmed that this juicy story was actually spreading faster than gossip during a family reunion. Deep within the mountains of Bad Plaza, ghost money supposedly laid hidden. Not your everyday cash, mind you. This was the kind of fortune that would make Scrooge McDuck's vault look like a mere piggy bank. But the issue about ghosts? Lucky wondered aloud, scratching his chin. Why not regular money? Isaac moved closer to him, eyes wide open. Because, my friend, these are departed souls, departed white folks who left this wealth without a forwarding address. They stashed their wealth in the mountain, thinking they'd return for it, but alas, due to life circumstances, they never did. They passed away before showing the next in line where the money was hidden. Lucky raised an eyebrow. "So, what's the catch?" Isaac's grin widened. "Listen up, my friend," he said. "The catch is that only the bravest soul can retrieve this treasure. And rumor has it that you must not take a bath for some days before going there. Taking a bath is strictly forbidden when embarking on this adventure. Yes, you heard me right, cleanliness is next to poverty, at least that is what the ghosts claim." Lucky's eyes bulged. "I must not take a bath? But I've got a date with Larotto this weekend." Isaac patted his friend's shoulder. "Lucky, my dear fellow, love waits for no man. But, think of the wealth. We'll be rolling in dough like fat cats in a creamery." And so, armed with nothing but his unwashed body and a treasure map hastily drawn on a napkin as directed in his dream, Isaac set off for the mountains. Meanwhile, Lucky was preparing to meet Larotto. The journey was tougher than a Klingon crossword puzzle. Isaac dodged thorn bushes, stumbled over rocks, and sweated like a politician during election season. Finally, he arrived at the spot, a cave entrance guarded by a she-goat. The she-goat had eyes that held more secrets than a gossip column. Isaac leaned in and whispered as if talking to the she-goat. "I know the deal. I must not take a bath before coming here, right? Well, lucky for me, I haven't taken a bath in days." When he came to the spot, he dug like a determined mole, his hands caked in dirt. And finally, there it was, the ghost money, tucked away in a rusty trunk. Stacks of it shimmered like a mirage in the desert. Isaac grabbed a handful from the trunk, laughing like a hyena with a winning lottery ticket in its claws. Isaac's grin faded, replaced by a look of sheer bewilderment. "Who needs to take a bath when dirt can get you millions like this?" he had mumbled to himself. But before he could finish his thought, a voice emerged from behind the shrubs, a voice that carried the weight of centuries.
Coming here without having taken a bath was merely an introduction, a preview of forthcoming attractions. You must never take a bath again in your life.
The voice was from the Wealth Guardian ghost, its spectral form draped in robes as ancient as time itself. Isaac froze. He hadn't anticipated a face-to-face encounter with the otherworldly custodians of fortune. And now, they were adding insane conditions to the deal. Isaac stood there, caught between the promise of untold riches and the ghostly ultimatum. The rusty trunk before him held more treasure than an ocean pirate's wildest dreams, but the rules were a real buzzkiller. He must not take a bath or shower for the rest of his life. It was like telling a fish not to swim or a politician not to make impressive promises to buy the moon. The guardian ghost cleared its throat, its hollow eyes fixed on Isaac.
Listen, Isaac, you've struck gold. But cleanliness is your kryptonite now. You try even once to take a bath, and you're toast. Literally.
Isaac's mind raced faster than a chicken chased by a hungry fox. It even knew his name. He weighed the options, wealth or hygiene. His 3 wives and their judgmental eyes flashed before him. They'd already nicknamed him Stingmaster General for the past few days that he did not take a bath. Isaac scratched his unwashed beard, desperation etched on his face. What if I just wash my hands? You know, a little splash here and there. The ghost shook its spectral head.
No loopholes, Isaac. Your toes must not even touch river water. The moment soap touches your skin, you'll be fertilizer for blooming daisies.
Isaac gulped. But what about deodorant? Can I at least? The ghost raised an ethereal eyebrow in anger.
Deodorant? Really? You think that will fool the cosmic scales? Son, you're in this for the long haul. No showers, no bubble baths, not even a sprinkle of rose water. Do you understand?
And so, Isaac returned to Monzona, with a trunk full of notes and coins from every corner of the globe. He bought land, cattle, and built a mansion that could house a herd of elephants. The villagers stared, their eyes wider than a hippo's yawn. Isaac, they whispered, did he rob a bank or marry a unicorn? The saga of Isaac, the man who chose wealth over soap, quickly spread to neighboring towns and villages. He was referred to as the millionaire who never takes a bath. But, the smell, whoa. The smell. Wind pushed it across the village like a fog of desperation. Dogs howled, birds dropped from the sky, and even mosquitoes wore gas masks. Isaac's wives, bless their hearts, tried to stick it out. They waved perfumed handkerchiefs and lit incense candles and sticks to diffuse the odor, but love has its limits. One by one, the wives packed their bags. Isaac, said the first wife, I'd rather cuddle a porcupine than share a bed with you. The second wife wrinkled her nose at the smell and said, remember when you smelled like a goat? At least goats take a bath now and then. And the third wife, tears glistening, mourned, Isaac, our love used to bloom like a rose. Now it's more like a heap of compost. Isaac's father died during this confusion. In his quiet exit from life, he left behind many unanswered questions. He slipped into the afterlife, joining his ancestors' restless souls to haunt eternity like a Wi-Fi signal with a glitch. Before departing, he whispered, Son, our family tree now smells like a pigsty. The villagers exchanged hushed words pertaining to Isaac's father's sudden departure. Ukutwala strikes again. Isaac's wealth smells worse than a landfill during a heat wave. And what about his father's sudden departure? But Isaac rode forth, perched on his trusted horse, a steed that now bore a permanent frown because of the smell. He patrolled his vast land, a tycoon with a nose sharper than that of a bloodhound. The horse, ever vigilant, kept him from stepping on water. People avoided him, not out of respect, but due to the fear of catching the smell of his success. And so, Isaac's riches multiplied, but his social life dwindled faster than a deflating balloon. He became the loneliest man in Mkhonza, surrounded by wealth and the lingering, deep-seated scent of regret. The ghost chuckled from the shadows, its ghostly form flickering like a faulty light bulb.
Isaac, you wanted fortune, and now you've got it. But remember that the money that you have cannot buy you even the smallest bubble bath. Ha 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 ha.
Isaac's stench had become legendary. Villagers didn't just change paths when they saw him approaching, they performed Olympic-level sidesteps. Dogs whimpered, trees wilted, and even the vultures circled at a safe distance. Isaac's horse, bless its equine heart, had developed a twitch in its nostrils, a silent plea for a transfer to a more pleasantly smelling rider. But Isaac soldiered on, pretending not to smell the stench clinging to his body. His fortune grew like a mushroom in a dam cellar. He had become the Howard Hughes of Mkhonza, minus the germ phobia and the airplane building phase. His mansion stood tall, its walls thick enough to mute the screams of the neighbors. Now, in the city lived Samuel, the last living relative who had avoided Isaac like a tax audit. Samuel worked in the city, where taking a shower was as common as traffic jams. He had heard the rumors about Isaac's wealth and odor, but he figured family reunions were overpriced. Besides, he had a wife, Miriam, who could sniff out a lie faster than a truffle-hunting pig. One fateful day, Samuel received a letter. It was from Isaac, written in ink that smelled like desperation and mothballs. The letter said, "Dear Samuel, I've got more cows now than a dairy farm and enough money to buy the moon. Please come and visit. But, please, leave your nose behind." Samuel hesitated. Miriam raised an eyebrow. "Samuel," she said, "you are not seriously considering this, are you? The man smells like a landfill during a heat wave." But Samuel, being the dutiful relative, packed his bags. He and Miriam arrived at Isaac's homestead, and the sight that greeted them was straight out of a horror movie. Cattle roamed across the whole yard like they owned the place, and the air. Oh, the air! It had a texture, like invisible cobwebs clinging onto their skin. Samuel surveyed the house. "Isaac," he said, "we need to sell some cows. You're practically running a stupid Airbnb here." Isaac, wrapped in layers of unwashed robes, grinned. "Samuel, my dear cousin, these cows are my legacy. They'll moo their way into the history books of this country." But then Samuel's attention turned to the house. The smell hit him like a ton of bricks. "Isaac," he gasped, "what died in there?" Isaac coughed. "That's just my aura, Samuel. It's a mix of success, mildew, and existential regret." Miriam, bless her brave soul, took charge. "Isaac," she said, "we are going to give you a bubble bath. No negotiations and no arguments." And so, they filled a tub with water and added bubble bath. Isaac, trembling like a leaf in a hurricane, stepped in. The water hissed, as if offended by his presence in the bathtub. Samuel scrubbed him, while Miriam poured shampoo to diffuse the smell. The room started to smell like a botanical garden on steroids. The next morning, chaos greeted them. The cows, all of them, had vanished like a magician's rabbit. Even all the money that was kept in the house had pulled a Houdini, it was gone. Samuel scratched his head. "Isaac," he said, "did we accidentally summon a kleptomaniac ghost?" Isaac, wrapped in a towel, looked defeated. "Samuel," he whispered, "I think the universe just balanced its books. My wealth is gone, but at least I smell like a daisy." They rushed Isaac to the hospital, where doctors marveled at his transformation. "This man," they said, "was a walking biohazard. Now he resembles a garden variety patient." Unfortunately, it was too late. Isaac passed away. He took his last breath, a mixture of lavender and regret. His homestead crumbled, and the villagers avoided it like a haunted house. Children gathered around night fires to listen to adults as they related Isaac's stinking tale. Some would be heard in dark corners whispering about the tycoon who never took a bath and danced with fortune and lost. And Samuel? Well, he never set foot in the village again. He'd learned that family reunions were overrated, especially when they came with a side of smelling assault. May Isaac's story linger in your nostrils like a forgotten tune. Until next time, keep your wallets full and your showers frequent in memory of the man who smelled like a forgotten gym sock and rode a horse that had a permanent frown. Wealth may come and go, but hygiene is forever. As for Isaac, may he rest in peace, surrounded by cows and the faint scent of redemption. And if you ever find yourself in bad places, remember this: skip taking a bath, grab the cash.